After 70, the thing that quietly steals your independence isn't your heart, it's your muscle. It slips away a little more each year, and one day, without any warning, the stairs simply don't feel safe anymore. Now there's a tin of fish that costs less than $2, and the people who eat it regularly live, on average, nearly 5 years longer than the people who don't. 5 years. That's roughly what a lifelong smoking habit takes off you, except this works in reverse. Sardines. So I did the math on what would actually happen inside the body of someone over 70 if for 5 straight days, sardines were the only thing they ate. Not because I'd tell you to do it, but because watching it day by day shows you plainly just how much this overlooked little fish is capable of. And by the 5th day, there's a change most diets can never give you. I'll come back to it, but first, the shortage almost nobody talks about. After 60, the average person gets about 100 milligrams of omega-3 a day. The amount the research considers genuinely therapeutic, the level where things start to change, is closer to 2,000, sometimes more. So most people are running on a fraction of what their body is quietly asking for. And the body keeps the receipts. The stiff knuckles in the morning, the bloating that comes and goes for no reason, the fog that rolls in after lunch, the legs that don't quite trust the stairs anymore. You've been told that's just age. Some of it is. A good deal of it is a shortage that's been building for years. And here is the loop I want to close by the end. By day 5, that shortage isn't just patched. Something happens to aging muscle that shouldn't be possible on a near fast. Hold that thought. Let me show you what's in a single tin. 23 grams of complete protein. Around 900 milligrams of EPA and DHA, the 2 omega-3 fats that do nearly all the heavy lifting. 380 milligrams of calcium, and a staggering 348% of your daily B12. Now multiply most of that by 3, because that's roughly what each of these 5 days looks like. And before anyone says it, fish, mercury. Here's what people get wrong. Sardines are tiny, and they don't live long enough to gather the mercury that builds up in the big predatory fish, about 27 times less than tuna. And they're rich in selenium, which binds to what little mercury there is. So that worry, set it down. So, day 1. Day 1. Let me start with a number, because it's the one that earns your trust. In a year-long trial out of Barcelona, a group of people, every one of them over 65, added just 2 tins of sardines a week. Nothing else changed. At the start, 37% of them sat in the high-risk category for diabetes. By the end, that had dropped to 8, and that was 2 tins a week for a year. This is something far more concentrated, over a much shorter window. Now, what's happening inside on day 1 is hidden. Nothing in the mirror yet. With no carbohydrates coming in, the body burns through its stored sugar, the glycogen in your liver and muscles. And here's what almost nobody tells you. Every gram of that stored sugar is holding on to several grams of water. So, as it empties out, you lose a surprising amount of weight very fast. People step on the scale, see 3 or 4 pounds gone, and think they've melted fat. They haven't. Most of it is water. The fat burning hasn't properly begun yet. What has begun matters more. With no carbs, insulin falls. And falling insulin is the switch, the signal that tells your body to stop storing fat and start burning it. You also flush out sodium, potassium, and magnesium along with that water, which is exactly why electrolytes matter here. And I'll come back to that near the end, because for someone over 70, it's not a small detail. Day 2. I'll be straight with you. For someone who's never done anything like this, day 2 can be the hard one. But the hunger you feel isn't the hunger you think. There's a kind of craving that has nothing to do with needing food. You'll want a crisp, something with spice, something with a bit of life to it. That's not your stomach. That's your brain asking for variety, for a small hit of pleasure. The real, gnawing hunger, oddly absent, because your body has just started reaching into its own fat for fuel. This is the doorway into ketosis, where the liver turns fat into a cleaner, steadier fuel. It takes a day or two to walk through that door, and the first part of the walk can feel flat. So no, I won't tell you you'll feel marvelous on day 2. Some people do, many don't. That's honest. And if you're finding this useful, I've left a marker for you in the comments, pinned to the one day most people say they felt the biggest shift. Have a look afterwards and see if yours matched. The interesting part comes next, day 3. This is where it turns. The fog starts to lift. By now, the brain is being fed by those ketones, and the brain, given the choice, rather likes them. People describe a kind of evenness, a clarity. The thought on the tip of your tongue arrives a little faster. But the deeper story is the omega-3 and what it's doing to the organ that needs it most. Your brain is nearly 60% fat, and one of the single most important building materials in it is DHA, the very same omega-3 sitting in that tin. When researchers pooled together 48 studies, over 100,000 people, they found a diet richer in these fats was linked to around a 20% lower risk of cognitive decline. The brain scans tell the same story. Higher omega-3, more of the brain's white matter preserved into old age. You are, in the most literal sense, built from the fats you eat, and this is one of the right ones. There's a smaller bonus here too. All that selenium has been nudging your thyroid along, so your engine runs a touch warmer and the cold doesn't bite quite the way it did. Which day did your own fog start to clear? Drop the number below. I read them. Day 4. This is the day it stops being something you only feel on the inside and starts being something you can see. Omega-3 works its way into the membrane of every skin cell you have. By day 4, that shows. A certain softness, a glow that wasn't there at the start of the week. The skin looks less tired. And the joints, this is the one people mention most. That low, grinding stiffness, the kind that's been there so long you stop noticing it, begins to ease. Your body uses omega-3 to build specialized molecules whose entire job is to switch inflammation off and tell the tissue to settle and repair. Think of it as turning down a fire that's been smoldering quietly in the background for years. There's a calmer feeling that tends to arrive about now, too. Sardines carry taurine, and taurine appears to support GABA, the brain's own calming signal. The research there is still early, so I won't oversell it. But people often report sleeping more deeply around day 4. Less of that 3 in the morning jolt awake. One quick, honest word before the last day. Everything here comes from published research, but I'm not your doctor. And this is exactly the sort of thing where your own circumstances matter. Sardines are high in purines, so if you have gout, this much this fast could trigger a flare. They're salty, so if you're on blood pressure medication or have kidney trouble, that sodium counts. If that's you, have a quick word with someone who knows your history first. Now, the last day, day 5. Here's the part I didn't expect. I actually had to read it twice. A 5-day diet this low in calories should cost you muscle. This one did the opposite. When most people hear 5 days of barely any food, they picture the body eating its own muscle. And with a plain water fast, for some older people, that's a real risk. Losing muscle after 70 isn't a small thing. It's the quiet thief behind the falls, the weak grip, the loss of living on your own terms. But this is exactly where sardines part company with every starvation diet. Because you're not eating nothing, you're taking in around 69 grams of protein a day. And that protein is unusually rich in leucine, the single most powerful trigger your body has for building muscle. Put leucine together with a flood of omega-3, and something genuinely surprising happens. In a trial on older adults, average age almost 80, that exact pairing, omega-3 and leucine, didn't just protect muscle. Over 2 months, it measurably built it. Lean muscle went up, grip got stronger, balance on a proper clinical scale improved. So while the rest of the world loses muscle with every year past 70, this is one of the few things shown to push the other way. That isn't vanity. That's staying steady on the stairs, carrying your own shopping, getting out of a chair without thinking about it. And on top of it, that enormous dose of B12, several thousand% of what you need, feeding the very nerves that keep your hands and feet sure of themselves. By day 5, most people in this position say the same thing. They don't particularly want to stop. But I won't leave you thinking you should live like this. You shouldn't. 5 days is an experiment, a way to see what this fish can do. It's not a way to eat forever, because your body wants variety, and sardines give you no fiber and no vitamin C. Treat it as a window, not a way of life. What I'll leave you with is one last thing, and it may be the most useful sentence in the whole video, especially if you've ever taken a calcium tablet. The calcium in those soft little sardine bones isn't ordinary calcium. It's a form called hydroxyapatite, quite literally the same material your own skeleton is made of. And that matters. The cheap calcium carbonate in most supplements needs a good deal of stomach acid to be absorbed. And after 70, your stomach acid is often running low. So a great deal of that pill can pass straight through you. The calcium in sardine bones doesn't lean on your stomach acid the same way. Your body recognizes it. It knows exactly what to do with it. So here's the question I'll leave hanging. There's one oily fish that may beat sardines for a body over 70. For one specific reason most people never think to consider. That's where we'll go next time. Until then, be well and be kind to that body of yours. It's listening more closely than you think.